All I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
How are you?
Hey, who wants to help me get this recorder out of here? I need some muscle over here.
You are listening to Blame Your Brother.
Hello. Welcome back once again to Blame Your Brother episode 20 something. I don't know. Anyway, we're back once again, 205. Lee is telling me there, 205. And we are streaming the show live on all those streaming platforms, which you can find at blameyourbrother.tv every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Come hang out with us. A lot to jump into tonight. Trust me. You know what we're going to be talking about. So let's be honest with each other here, okay? But before we jump into that, we will introduce ourselves. There are three of us that come to you every week. I'm one third of that trio. I am David, aka D Brew, voice of the people, Mr. 40%, Glenn Jackson, the spiritual midget, the reverse Yoko Ono, and I'm joined by this gentleman sitting to my left, my actual brother. It's Lee.
Hey everyone, it's the one and only, the real Nick Nickum, the one and only LeBron safety pin.
And then we have this other dude that sits over here to the right. It is our friend John.
Hey everybody, John here, the Italian stallion, Mr. Tico, Mr. PTI, the madman.
They got John Tortorella, a madman.
They do have a
Okay, he's a madman.
All right, there you go. David Lee John. We will be talking to you about a lot of things tonight. So thank you for hanging out in the chat or downloading the podcast and listening to it, whatever time and place you're doing that at. We appreciate it. So we will just jump into it. We start off every week with apologies, retractions, omissions, a chance for us to undo the wrong we did on last week's show. So, John, how you feeling about last week's show? Oh, there's some echo. All right.
I'm down with last week's show.
You're down with it, so you're good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Lee?
Let's see. What did we even talk about?
I don't know.
Well,
Bunch of Nazis.
Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about that a lot. I don't know how I feel about it still. I don't think we
Punching Nazis.
reached a definitive conclusion that made me go one way or the other.
I thought John might want to apologize for kind of indicating he might join the party at one point. But anyway, hey, you got to do it.
Join which? Oh, the Nazi party.
Yeah.
I mean, we're trying to keep that on the DO.
All right. Well, yeah, I thought it was pretty straightforward. Good conversation last week. Nothing too crazy. So unless you want to apologize for the transgender statement, dear John.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Sure. Do we have to apologize for him at that point?
We've already made our statements very clear.
Do we have to take his wage from him or whatever?
I mean, sure, we'll take his pay.
Okay.
His pay is taken. So
Docked.
all right. Well, we'll get moving on then. So what is going on with you guys? Lee, anything happening with you this week?
The seasons are changing. It's getting a little cooler. It's a full moon tonight, which is kind of interesting.
Saw that.
So I was thinking I might do something crazy, go howl at the moon, sans clothes or something.
You do you, brother.
Please wait till after the podcast to do that.
Y'all don't want to do that. We could do like an exclusive OnlyFans.
No.
Okay, I do have an update on that. I figured something else that people do on OnlyFans. We had this discussion like 2 weeks ago, and I just found this out, which I thought was bizarre. I don't even know. I don't even know how to say this. You can submit what's known as a dick rating. And when I thought about this, I'm like, what? And this is like legit a service that people provide their fans. Would you do this?
No.
I mean, it's,
What do you mean? Would we do it?
Unless you're talking about ranking all your favorite people named Richard, then even that, no, I don't want to do that either.
You're suggesting you submit your penis.
That's what, I guess people could submit a fake, but that's the idea. You submit yours, and then the person, rates it. Who
cares?
Comments on it, tells you how good or bad it is. I mean, well, remember, several years ago at the dawn of the internet, that was like a website where you could go and you would submit a picture, and people would rank the picture.
Yes,
right?
we were on it. It
Same
was called
concept.
Hot or not.
Hot or not.
Hot or not.
Brother, it wasn't called dick or not. I mean,
that's a good idea, actually.
Yep,
Just
that's a penis.
Black or white, though. Would you hit it or would you quit it?
I don't, we're old enough now.
But no, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that this is what we would do. I'm just saying this is what a lot of people pay money to do?
You literally just asked us, would we do it? That was the exact
Oh,
question.
I mean, I knew your answer.
Okay.
Well, maybe I did. I don't know. I feel like you've probably done it before, actually, David.
I'm not even aware
You're
of this.
trying to play it cool. You
I'm
know?
not aware this even exists. You're the one
Hey,
that
I
knows
just found
it.
out,
You're
okay?
yeah, you just found out. Okay.
After heavy research.
Now there was a podcast I used to listen to. It was called Hit and Run, and it was very edgy. It was very like just. It's the most edgy podcast I've ever heard in my life. And every year they had a competition. It was called like the Dick of the Year, and I guess these dudes would send in their
All
dick
right,
pics
so
to
same thing.
a female listener, and then they would judge the winner. And then I don't know how, but it was supposed to be anonymous, and so I don't know how. I don't know. It was a weird contest, but
Did you win?
don't they all look the same, bro? I mean, to some degree. I mean, it's what is the? Oh wow, your dick ranks an 8.5. Well, you gonna go around bragging? You getting this on a T-shirt or something? I
Well,
mean,
that's
you know
what I was-
what you know.
That's one of the things that I wondered. Like, is the person that's doing the rating, do they cheese it and say, "Oh yeah, that's the best I've ever seen," in hopes of getting more money, or do they play it straight and be like, "Okay, this is actually going to be, I'm the most accurate rater in the business,"
you gotta get.
or is it just a person that roasts people?
It's like a verified Amazon reviewer. You know, you got to do enough to get
Reviews?
the stinking. But now, who's doing? I guess I'm confused. Are the fans sending these to the celebrities, or are the celebrities putting them out there for the fans?
Okay, the usage of the word celebrity is slightly confusing.
Well, you know what I mean. The
host
content
of
creator,
Yes.
content creator,
yes.
the fan takes a picture of their personal body
send it-
submits it to the content creator,
And they rank
who
it.
they message them back
Well,
directly. It's like a DM,
Bro,
you know?
they're obviously gonna lie. They're not gonna give it like a 1 and lose that customer, man. That's
well,
stupid.
but here's the thing: like, there's another thing called like /r roast me on Reddit, where you submit a
yes.
picture and like you want people to roast me. Now, I would never do something like that. That's not something that I would find desirable. But these people really want either like affirmative negative feedback or realistic feedback.
Right,
so
but-
how is it any different than that? Like, if you're really
Here's the
wanting an
difference.
opinion on your member and you can't get it, you can't just go flashing it everywhere.
Okay, let's just pick someone ever. Jenna Jameson,
Okay.
porn star.
Sure.
Now you're in love with her, okay? She's never gonna give you time of day, but in your mind, you're like, I'm gonna sign up for this OnlyFans. It's
As we found out, like, there's
Right.
services that
Yes,
run the marketing.
Probably
whatever.
expensive, I'm sure, for her. But anyway, so your hopes and dreams and your money lie on the fact that this woman's going to give you a good rank. If she like burns you to the ground, you might go, I'm taking my money and going to the next porn star. There's no reliability
Maybe.
in these ratings.
You're not the only one.
I think maybe some of them are just thinking like, man, I've got a 10, and the instant someone sees it, they're gonna want it.
Okay, well let's go like this. There used to be a GarageBand.com, and you could upload your songs,
Okay,
and people
okay.
would rank them anonymously, and they would give you like you would submit a song, and then they would put your song against another song, and then
So it'd be like a battle of the band,
kind
battle
of,
of the
but,
song.
but it was continual,
Right.
and you would move up the ranks. So I submitted a couple of ours, and we got some pretty decent feedback. Actually, people enjoyed it and everything, but they were at no obligation to lie. Like
Right.
I did it all the time, and if I didn't like a song, I just didn't do it for me. I'm
Trash.
sorry. I mean,
Delete.
I wouldn't be rude, but I was just like, not my thing, you know.
You should kill yourself
No.
and stop playing music.
But that's
No,
just
John, no.
that system works because that's a group of users looking at an independent song. Like I said, once again, the celebrity, there's no way they're burning their fans. I mean, they're acting like they're their best friends. They
Well, I
hate
mean,
these
but here's the-
people,
but
dude.
here's
Let's
the
be
thing.
honest.
I don't think so.
Jenna
'cause
Jameson does not like these losers
Jenna
signing up.
Jameson is not this core content creators of OnlyFans. It's like
I thought it was all porn stars. man.
it's well, they're all porn stars, but it's like the girl next door.
Can we just get someone on the show that's been on this stupid website?
I'm sure.
So if I
you
set
find
that up,
some on Twitter,
if I set it up, you'll let them come on. We'll talk to them about why they do this. I think it would be
I'm-
an interesting.
I think obviously I keep bringing it up.
Okay,
So.
so we're gonna look for someone. If you know someone, you're listening, let us know anonymously or whatever you want to do. But I would like to talk
Can
to
we
them.
blur if we request to blur their face out and
I-
do like the deep? This is Jenna of OnlyFans.
There you go. I think they want to be seen, though. I think they want the exposure, literally, both ways. But I don't know. All right, but there you go. Is that what you're bringing to the table?
I'm sorry. It just surprised me so much. I would never even think that
Lee.
would go on.
Nothing on this this service should surprise you. There is probably some nasty things
Okay,
going
this is.
on.
You want to know how I found it? I'll tell you. Someone followed the BYB account,
Okay.
and I saw it, and it was obviously like some dolled up girl, and I'm like, oh, let me see what this account is about first before I follow back. And I clicked on it, and of course, it's just an ad for their OnlyFans, right? And like they list all their services right there, and like a bulleted list. And I'm just like going down. I'm
so
like,
this
wait a
is
second.
Amy Laframbos. I don't even know who this person is. She, in all of her pictures, she's half nude or nude. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for following us. Somehow, I guess the show reached out and we got
Well, it's obviously just a bot account.
of
I think,
course, yeah. But anyway. Yeah.
Anyway, okay, sorry, I didn't mean to bore you.
I mean, nudity outside on the moon, ratemypecker.com. I mean, my God, man. You had a kid, we apologize. A lot of questions.
Not let them watch this show.
Oh, I mean, they probably do, though.
All right, so what would you rate your own though? If you had to put it up against the world's?
I mean, I'm a solid 5 through and through, baby. So, I mean, I guess 5. I don't know. What's the rank? I don't know. It's like if you've never played basketball before and you're ranking your basketball skills. I mean, I guess I'd give myself a 5. I don't know. Maybe a 10 or maybe a 1. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? John?
I mean, whenever you're rating something, you got to know what the 10 is. You got to know what a 1 is.
I mean, we've obviously seen porn with Big Dick Johnson or whatever. That's a 10, I guess. I mean, no, obviously I'd be probably a porn star if I look like that. I mean, there's.
I don't know.
What'd you say last
Would
week?
you?
The Lord only puts on you what you can deliver, baby. I mean, so, Ron Jeremy, look at that guy. He just was blessed with a large package, and it
I'm
worked
starting
out
to
for
see
him.
why you don't want to take advantage of this service now. You don't want to get burned down by Jenna. I get it.
Not at all. No,
Not at all.
I would say most of the time you don't want to meet the people you look up to because generally you will be disappointed in some manner.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I mean, most time I'm sure sometimes like when I met Shaquille O'Neal, it was cool. I met him for like 2 minutes. Okay, now if I hung out with that guy all day, I might go, this guy's kind of a dick. I don't know. Or
yeah, he probably is. He probably has a lot of people wanting his attention at all times of the day, and you kind of have to be.
Right. What's the ranks? You two never said anything.
I don't know. I was just asking you because I thought you would answer, and you did.
I did.
So,
I'll answer any question on the show, brother. I don't have a problem with it. So
I mean, if you're going 5, I'm going above a 5 then for sure.
So Brandon in chat says A1. A1 most likely. I thought for a minute he meant A1, like the steak
top.
sauce, like
top of the tier, baby.
And why is
Put some sauce on it.
Is A1 steak sauce like that? I love it. Don't get me wrong, but I like poor taste. I'm very quick to point that out. Is A1 really the top steak sauce in the world? I mean, there's no way that's factual.
I mean, probably there's people that make their own steak sauce that is delicious, but it's probably one of the better mass-produced.
Yeah, it's probably the most sold.
Okay.
So I mean, you can't.
Well, Nickelback is one of the most sold bands, and they suck. So I mean, that old thing, 500,000 Elvis fans can't be wrong. Sometimes they can.
So that's a good point. Is there another steak sauce? I mean, there's 57, Heinz 57, and A1. That's about it.
Oh, I'm sure there is. We just don't.
Well, yeah, but
I don't like steak, so I've already made that clear. I just
no
don't.
wonder you got a 5.
I don't know what that has to do with it. That's too
tube steak.
That's so weird. Yeah, is that where we're going? So, all right. Well, anyway.
Sorry. Okay. Would you tell us about your wonderful life in which you don't have
my wonderful? I did. The thing I was wanting to talk about before we jumped into that weird mess of topics, our friend Elisabeth Donaldson, who's been on the program a couple of times, we love her. She's a great actress, stylist, fashionista, everything. She was part of a movie that's part of the Nashville Film Festival that dropped today, and I watched it. It's called Rattled. It stars her, another actress who I don't know who she is, but it's pretty much a two-person film with a few other people in. But the majority of the film is her.
She talked about this on the 24-hour stream.
So they play sisters, and her sister is a little bit nutty. Let's just say that, and things happen. And if you're looking, the acting is phenomenal. It was really good. Didn't really know where it was going, which I always enjoy in a movie. Some movies you watch the beginning, okay, I've got this figured out. It sucks. Like I watched a movie on Netflix with Jason Sudeikis, and it's called Kodachrome. And I mean, dude, the movie started, I said, this is what's going to happen at the end. And it literally happened exactly that way at the end. It was terrible.
So I haven't seen this movie yet. What is it like watching a movie with somebody that you met several times before you actually watched the movie with them in it.
Yeah.
Right. Can you say that one more time?
So
I'm
what's it
confused.
like
Like
watching?
knowing the actor in person, like in real life.
Yeah, it's what. See, what's crazy is
Were you able to separate it real well?
I
or-
think so. I mean, you think of that, but I think you're.
Like, I mean, if I saw a movie with you in it, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be able to associate that character with that character.
Right.
'Cause that's Dave pretending to be somebody else.
It definitely, I separated her from the part because I've seen her in another movie as well, which was a
Was it
crazy
the,
movie where she,
Baldwin movie.
where she got raped by one of the Baldwins. So I mean, already that's I thought she was. I did not think the entire time I was watching it that's Elisabeth Donaldson. There were moments where I was like, she's really good, like and if you're into ladies, there's a partial nudity scene. So I mean, if you're down for that, spend your money. It's so.
Spend your money. Wait, what?
Hey,
You'll probably get more out of it than
Right,
OnlyFans
exactly.
account.
I think that's the weird part is when you do know someone like that and they're in a scene where they're like making out or they're in a shower or something like that. It's kind of weird, like because I mean I've never seen this person in this way before, and it's kind of weird. But you're like, all right, it's art. It's no different than a nude painting or something. It's art, so it's not a big deal. But it's once again I'm saying go to Nashville Film Festival, and so you pay $10, you get to watch that movie. It's a full-length movie. It's like an hour and 30 minutes. And then there was these two shorts in front of it. So I'm watching the first short, and it was good. It was about this dude on mushrooms. It's pretty funny. It was like a 5-minute short. Then the next short comes on. It's like a 7-minute. It's about in the future. It's kind of like, what was that movie where you could put that thing on your head and you could, had Ray Fiennes in it. It had the chick that was in all the 90s. I can't think of it. But anyway.
Put a thing on your head. Do you have anything else?
And it's like virtual reality. Strange Days. Strange Days. Do you remember Strange Days?
Okay, yeah.
Didn't that have like the guy from Black Flag in it, Henry Rollins?
Yeah. No, that was Johnny Mnemonic.
Oh, okay. That's
I love
it.
it.
Sorry.
But anyways,
I'm getting confused.
Strange Days. Have you ever seen it? Great movie. You would put a thing on your head and you can experience memories and things. Well, in this short film, you could just have your phone and you'd hook it up and you could like experience different realities, or it's kind of hard to explain, but like one of them was like a Hinduism thing and you could get it and you'd be like feeling Hindu enlightenment and all that. So it's a pretty cool idea actually. But I'm watching the movie and I hear this voice. I go, I know that voice. I know that person. And it was actually one of the ladies from the Something's Not Right podcast. And I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. What a small world. So I messaged her. I was like, are you in that movie? And because I knew it was pretty much her. And she goes, yeah. I was like, that's cool. So
Wow.
So the point would be, if you want to spend $10, you get to watch 2 shorts and a feature, and I think it's all Nashville people, and generally the movies are real good. I mean, this was a movie. This is not like shot in someone's backyard. This was full movie, full sound, great quality, great picture and everything, great story. So, it's called Rattled. If you want to check it out, go to Nashville Film Festival, look up Rattled, support her, and hopefully it'll win some awards.
Was it better or worse or equal to Groupers?
Ooh, wow, that's a good question. Wow.
Just don't answer. Just no comment.
Man, that's a really hard question because
I saw Groupers, so I wanted to see what.
Oh, you did see Groupers. I didn't know that. I would say this about Groupers. I like Groupers, but I Anderson Cowan, the director, who's also a podcaster. He's one of my favorite podcasters. So already I knew going in Groupers, I knew his comedy stylings. I knew all that.
It's definitely a dark comedy.
Yeah, so I would say if I had to watch one of them again, I'd probably watch Groupers. Just because and I love Nicole Dambro. I thought she was fantastic in Groupers. So, but I would rank them about equal. If I had to push one, I would give Rattled like a 7. I'd probably give Groupers like a 7.5. So, I mean, it's good. I think the good thing about when people, make movies, it's kind of cool, like, oh man, I know this person, I know of them and things like that. So, go check it out, man. And so intro to cinema update. All right.
Okay.
So if you don't know and you're just catching up, I'm in college. I'm in intro to cinema.
You're like that dude with the skateboard and the rock band shirt.
Spicoli. I'm kind of like Spicoli. Well, I got.
Hey, cool guys.
Oh,
Did you have a pizza delivered in the middle of your class?
Steve Buscemi is who he's talking. We're talking about Spicoli, but all right. So I turned in. Now here's the thing. I turned in 2 papers. I got the one paper back. and it was like, I was not happy with the grade. I was like, oh my God, dude, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to fail this class. I mean, I am really trying here. So I sent this guy an email last night, like a long email.
Last night?
And I was just like, hey, man, do I need to drop this class? Because I don't think I'm giving you what you want. I don't know if I can get there. I don't want to fail this class is what I'm telling you. And, you know, I'm not used to getting this kind of criticism on English papers. I mean, I was always good in English. And
did he write back?
yeah, he wrote back.
Okay, well, spill the beans.
So he wrote back this afternoon, and he said, you know, I sat on this for a while. You know, I wanted to write you back. And he goes, you know, honestly, you know, you just got to work on some of the things that, you know, I said, and I think you can do better. And, you know, and at one point I wrote, like, you know, I don't even know, I don't even want to start writing the paper because I'm thinking it's going to be bad. He goes, well, that's part of, you know, good if you just write it and then go through it and reanalyze and everything. And he just said, you know, and, you know, it's like kind of being baseball. If you were a baseball star in high school and you get to college, I mean, yeah, bro, it's kind of the same thing. I'm at Nashville State, bro. I'm not at Harvard or Brown or something. I'm at Nashville State.
Who is this guy? What is he?
He's hardcore, man. And I'm thinking, you know what, though?
I mean, you should have asked him if there was like a class average.
I did ask, could you give me someone else's paper that I could read just to see what
Right.
he didn't respond to that. So I've gotten to October 30th. Now, I thought the grading system was differently. So I said, dude, I'm like, I have a 70 average. He goes, no, you have an 83. And I went, oh, okay. Well, I mean,
Screw it.
I mean,
Never disregard my previous email.
Unsend. I just think I can do better than that. And maybe
I think, honestly, just the fact that you reached out automatically biases any future paper you write into a higher grade.
I would think, or it could be
No, he probably doesn't have a lot. He obviously loves his position and wants people to, you know, be interacted in it and passionate.
Okay,
So,
I thought that too.
I mean, you're at a disadvantage as to the way things were when we were younger. I mean, obvious because of this ongoing global pandemic that we're dealing with. Because when it comes to essays, you're really writing for that person.
That's yes.
And you don't really have the opportunity to really get to know this guy.
Bingo. And that's kind of what my email said. Like, I don't think I'm giving you what you want. And I think I said, I don't know what you want. I mean, that's the whole point. Like, I can deliver you whatever you want, I think, but I don't know, man. Like, so I'm just going to keep going with it. And if I can do really truthfully, the truth of the matter is, as long as I get a 70, I could care less. Really, I need the credits at this point. I'm not trying to get on the honor roll or the dean's list. That's out of here. I don't care. I just need.
Who wants to be on the dean's list at ITT Tech?
Oh,
really?
But, I mean,
come on.
There's somebody out there, but I got
They're just putting that on your resume first line.
I got an email from the college. They go, "Do you want to join this fraternity? It's for people that have a 3.0 and above average. All you have to do is send us $75 for the year." And I went, "No,
What did they have a list of like fraternal activities?
No, there's no. I don't think there is fraternal.
It's just a list in a book.
You're just on a list, man. You can tell people I was in the.
It's the Nashville State version of Who's Who among American high school
I
students.
think so. I wish I could find that email. I was cracking up, and for a minute I was like, I mean, if I joined, I could say I was in a fraternity. That would be kind of cool.
You should just start a fraternity.
I guess you could.
Like it's just a Zoom meeting, like every Wednesday night or something. You just you crack beers and listen to Dave Matthews or something.
Old school 2.0. So that's that. That's where I'm at with that. All the other classes are going good. Now, I did help design some art for another a friend, a brother-in-law, Corey, has a business where they buy like game systems and they sell them, and they're doing like relatively well from what I understand.
What's the name again? The Tin Dude?
NES Mafia.
Oh, NES Mafia.
And so I sat down. He's like, "Can you design?" Because I designed the cover art last week of Trump Hitler getting punched in the face. It was 8-bit art, and he's like, "Can you do something for me like that?" And I went, "Yeah, man, I'll try." And I worked on it for a while, and they were happy with it. So now I've been contacted by another podcast.
Nice.
Bree Poe's like, "Can you do the art for
getting commissions already?"
And she's like, "How much you charge?" I don't think I charge anything. I just genuinely enjoy working in Photoshop and just learning from making mistakes or going on YouTube and spending 20 minutes on, here's how you do this. And those are some bad videos, man. I really should just start doing my own videos because some of these dudes, I'm like, bro, I get what you're saying, but you're not saying it very well. But anyway, so that was that. I did that this week, and I'm
So
also
where can we see? Just go to nesmafia.com
NES Mafia.
to see your work.
Just look them up on Instagram, NES Mafia on Instagram. You can check it out. And also, I'm going to be sent some swag by another podcast. The Rock Candy Podcast is sending me a freaking hoodie, and they said as long as I can take some pictures with it, model it off, they're sending it to me. So that's on the way, which is pretty cool. So
I love hoodies.
yeah,
Is this it?
Yeah, that's it right there.
Wow, that's actually really cool.
So I just basically, for the concept, I took I looked at some old NES games, and that was kind of what they would look like, and just kind of put it together, and that was it, And he really liked the seal at the bottom. There's a seal, like an old Nintendo seal, and it says NES Mafia on it. So I don't know, man. That's really what I enjoy. Like, I mean, I love watching movies, number one. That's like movies and TV shows, love it. But like working in Photoshop is like really a passion of mine these days. Like I've thought like, yo, even if we stop doing the podcast, I'm probably just going to contact somebody. Yo, man, you need me to do show art for your show. I mean, I do enjoy that. So
Maybe you could hit up some like Twitch streamers, some OnlyFans, some cam girls, see if they want a logo.
Yeah, that's going to work.
You do an 8-bit penis.
Yeah.
It's funny because I hear about like artists on Reddit all the time. This is like a concurrent theme. They're like, everyone tries to screw you over and get free work or discounted work or whatever, except for one group of people, the furries. Yeah. They say, if you're a commission artist and you need money, just go into the furry world. They say they pay. They understand that like no one else in the world can make their thoughts come to life, and they're willing to like pay the money. Like if it takes you 8 hours to come up with their painting, they will pay you 8 hours and give you a tip afterwards.
Wow. Well, there you go. We never talk bad about the furries
the
again.
The tip of what? Anyway.
Yeah, I caught the pun, but let's just move on.
So there we go. So we got some comments in the chat. Nathan I don't know how to say it. I mean, I know Nathan. He's on the, we'll talk about this in a minute, but he's all about the 45-20-20.
That's all he ever seems to talk about in chat, for sure. There's two things. The T-shirt you promised him.
Yeah.
And the Trump wagon.
What? Just, you need to send me what shirt.
Well, now he said he wants the hat.
Oh, the hat's more than the shirt. So I don't know. Maybe I'll send you the shirt. You tell me if you want a hat, I'll get you a hat. If you really want a shirt, I've told you before, just send me a message with which shirt you want, because we got a couple for sale. I will send you one. Anyway, and then Jeffrey says, I got an A on my exam. Good for you, sir. Good for you. And actually, I do want to hit one. Brandon is in the chat. He said, John, is it technically a pandemic now? Are we in a global pandemic, John?
I don't know.
I mean, first off, you were listening to John. So
Lee,
then you were trying to fact check him.
Lee, do you think we're in a global pandemic?
I mean, we were definitely at one point in a global pandemic, but I think they're opening everything back up.
So that means it's over?
But I've also heard that there's a second wave incoming. Who knows?
Well, let's talk. Anything happened to you this week, John?
Not really. One thing you failed to mention, and I think you Warrant's mentioning, is you got your own YouTube channel as well, and you did a cover of Glycerin.
That's right. Yeah.
And,
is Bush is not cool to like, right? Like Bush.
I love Bush.
I think Bush is cooler to like than Foo Fighters.
No.
Hot take.
No way. No. Not better. Cool to like. Like if you were at a hipster party and you had to say you like Foo Fighters or Bush, which one are you going to
At a hipster party?
Yeah. Which
You're
one?
saying Bush 9 times out of 10.
Ironically, I'm saying realistic. No, not ironically.
Okay, so let's just say that you're at a hipster's house.
Yeah. Okay.
Which one are you saying that you like better?
So you're saying Bush, but
I was saying Bush is the right answer. 100%.
I think hipsters would disagree with you. I think Bush was one of those bands, and you're right.
At the time.
I mean, okay, so.
Well, at the time, I mean.
Let's look at the band.
Foo Fighters didn't exist at the same time as Bush did.
I think they did.
What is the saying? You either die hero or
live long enough to be a villain.
That is if the Foo Fighters had only made if the Foo Fighters had been Gavin and only put out one album.
That's crazy. You know, Bush just put out an album like last year, dude,
okay,
and no one's in the band except for Gavin Rosales. I'm like, bro, this isn't even Bush anymore.
It just doesn't really count though. You know what I'm saying? If the Foo Fighters had only released that first album ever, they would have been a hipster icon.
I think Bush is kind of like bro rock, is what I think. But I like it. I mean,
what is
Bush?
I don't think so.
Oh, I think so.
Bro rock?
Yeah, kind of like. Do you know what I'm saying? Bro rock, like
I know what you're saying, but I mean,
I mean, is
that,
it something
to me,
like
that'd
Seven Mary 3? Like
Seven Dust would be bro
but
rock.
no, it's more like she called me Goliath.
That's
like,
not bro rock.
What would you call that?
I would put like
Grunge
what
light.
is it, Scott Stapp. What's
That's
that
what it
band?
is. It's
Creed.
grunge light.
Okay, Creed. Okay.
No, Bush and Creed. No,
That's
Bush,
what I'm saying. I don't. I
Bush is
wouldn't-
grunge light.
I think we're in a vacuum, and I think the rest of us out there would disagree. I just think that
most people don't even know who the band Bush is. Okay, let's just be honest.
Well, here most people don't. I was listening to a podcast today. They didn't even know who Tonic was. I'm like, how do you not know who Tonic was?
Tonic was not a big band.
Dude, they had one of the biggest hits of the 90s.
What was it?
If you could only see.
Yeah,
Come
but
on,
that's
man.
a song. That's not a band.
Well, I know
But
Tonic.
that song did not go away though.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was by Tonic. So
Okay,
there you
well,
go.
I guess
I
shit.
owned 2 Tonic albums.
There's no way you owe 2 of them. You may owe 1.
Okay.
There's no way you own.
I definitely owned 2 Tonic albums.
I didn't know they had 2 albums. I had the one with that single. I thought it was a good album.
Yeah,
but
everybody
anyway.
wore that song.
So yes,
it was a good song.
I'm gonna start doing some afternoon covers. That's what I'm gonna
Okay.
say. But yeah, Bush, Glycerin. That's a fantastic song.
Oh yeah.
And like I said in the video, I love Nirvana. They're one of my 3 favorite bands ever. And to me, it was very evidently clear that Bush was just trying to be
Nirvana light.
Nirvana. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you know. And it's crazy, even if you're a David Bowie fan, they were literally ripping off David Bowie lyrics in the song Everything's In. They're exactly the lyrics in a David Bowie song. I mean, I don't know, it's weird.
What kind of craziness is this?
I don't know. I was reading like
People ripping off David Bowie.
do you go to genius.com ever? Like,
I mean,
if you have Spotify, occasionally song lyrics will pop up with a story. I love it. It's like pop-up video on Spotify. Pop-up video, if you don't know what that is, a VH1 show where they would show the video and then facts would pop up. I could watch that for days.
Yeah, it was.
It was fantastic,
You get
right?
sucked into
now
it.
we
Yeah.
can't even get the video.
So if you have Spotify, some of the songs have, it's called Genius, that's the website. They'll start putting up like facts about songs. I find it very interesting. And I was reading a bunch of Bush lyrics, and I guess he was also ripping off Jane's Addiction, and I was like, oh my God, how is this guy getting away with this? But
I think the problem is it's got some of that pitchfork attitude into it, in which they
I love
obviously have an agenda against Bush, and whoever was writing that was probably like,
it wasn't not. It was quotes from Gavin Rosdale saying he had done these
Oh,
things.
really?
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's literally just quotes like Counting Crows. I have in a big. Adam Dirt said this about this song, and then
Yeah.
you have people at the bottom going, I think it's about this. Like, you're a moron, dude. Shut up. But anyway, yeah, Glycerin, great song. I stand by that Bush album. I stand by the next one. I even think the Science of Things was a good album. Where they're at today, I don't know.
Nobody knows. What
Gavin
you're talking
Rosdale's
about.
solo stuff, yikes, not good. But anyway,
It's like just him in a bandsaw in the dark.
might as well be. I guess the band quit because I guess he went. So the story great about Radiohead. Radiohead had these albums that were just being commercial successes, right? And Tom York was just like, all right, next album, everybody learn a new instrument. We're not using any rock instruments. You got to go learn electronic. And they blew up even more. Bush did that, and everybody quit the band. Like, I'm out of here, dude. I'm not doing this
We
anymore.
can't do that.
So, I feel
There's
like,
no Tom York.
I don't know. I feel Gavin Rosdale. I mean, the thing I remember about him back in the day, very good looking dude, was Gwen Stefani. I was like, dude, I want to be Gavin Rosdale. That's like who I wanted to be back in like 95, 96. If I could be one person, it'd be that guy right there. And, I guess that didn't end so well for her because she's now with Blake Shelton. And
I'm sure they're
what
happy.
a downgrade. That may be
I'm sure they're happy. And,
that-
and he also has a lot more money. I
that
assure
may
you.
be the biggest downgrade in history.
I don't think
of
people would
pop culture.
necessarily think that's a
Lee,
downgrade.
the running joke of Twitter now is Blake Shelton was named sexiest man alive. People like, this is when we knew the end was coming for 2020.
Hey, but still, someone voted him. Was it the Nashville scene?
Oh, so real quick. So those awards
Well
are
played.
those awards are happening October the 14th. It's going to be a virtual.
Are we going regardless?
No, it's a virtual thing, and they're going to announce the winners virtually. Is what the email said.
Do you just everyone goes to like a massive Zoom call, or
Yeah,
you
I
just
guess
watch it online?
Maybe watch online. So
Yeah.
what are the odds right now? If you don't know, Nashville Scene is a local paper, and they had the best podcast as one of the categories. What are the odds if you betting odds? Now here's the odds I'm going to give you. Number one, we come in number one. Number two,
Zero.
zero. Number two, we come in.
Zero?
We coming in the top 3,
0.
or we don't get listed at
Oh,
all.
I guess you did have your Russian hacker bots.
It's the secret's out now. I don't really care. Yes, I mean, do you think will
flip
we
a
list?
coin.
Will we list?
50%.
What do you think, John? Will we get listed?
I think we'll get listed,
Really?
but I don't
You
think we'll be
think-
number 1.
Okay, well,
Top 3, baby.
we'll
Well,
find
we
out.
did top 3 before, and we didn't have any
That's true.
true fans out there.
How did we win? I never understood how we won that one, but anyway, okay.
I think it was because there is like 17 total votes in the
Probably.
podcast category. But here, let's do this. You've seen the movie Hackers. Let's do like or Sneakers. Let's do like an undercover operation where we get the trunk line and we splice in our own video
That'd be
feed.
nice. Could you do
And
that?
I mean, if you can distract the drivers of the van, yeah. You
From
know.
the chat.
We'll need a lot of help, you know. We'll have to wear like neoprene suits.
Couldn't you just hack it?
get wired down?
Okay, could we theoretically, once again, we're not going to do this. Could we hack into the feed? How hard do you think it would be to do?
That would be
Not us. I mean, if we paid a service for this to be
I
done.
mean, it could. It's possible. It's not necessarily easy, and it's kind of depends on what their security.
Okay,
is like, right?
So
If they had really shitty security, I guess it would be easy.
I talked
I
about
think it'd be easier to
I
you know,
mean,
physically
I'm guessing
take
it'd be
the van.
just
over.
like a Zoom call.
probably. So here's what we could do. So that podcast I was talking about earlier, We Hit and Run, there was a podcast awards, and Mark Maron, who's one of the most famous podcasters, won the award. Of course, he's not going to call in this dumb local podcast award.
So he had people calling.
No, We Hit and Run called in and acted as Mark
Oh,
Maron,
okay.
and were just praising We Hit and Run the entire time. And they finally figured
but
it
they
out.
didn't know.
Yeah, they didn't know at first. They were like, "Oh, wow."
Well, one thing that we could do is just start a marketing campaign right now for the live feed and like start emailing people, but change the domain a little bit, like NashvilleAwards.org or something.
That's not a bad idea.
And then host it ourselves
That's
right
good.
here.
Oh wow, we could have like tuxedos and give out our own awards. How about it? All right, well let's get on to the news. There's something we got to talk about. I'm gonna give this quote, which I think summed it up perfectly. It says, "That was a hot mess inside a dumpster fire inside a train wreck." That is Jake Trapper of CNN describing the first presidential debate of 2020. Now, Lee, you said earlier you did not watch it.
I was watching Frozen too.
John, did you watch it?
I caught the last like 20 minutes of it.
I felt like I was watching it through Twitter though, you know? I've never seen Twitter so alive.
I watched it. I watched the entire thing, and I think
You didn't have to take 30-minute breaks.
I feel Jake Trapper was underselling how bad it was. I mean,
everyone was like, you know, even people were texting me going, "Are you watching this?" This is like literally laugh out loud a joke.
So I first went to CNN. I went to hear what they would say. Okay, this sucks. Okay, I go to MSNBC. Yeah, it sucks, obviously. So I went to Fox News. I went, now, are they going to have the balls to say this sucked? And this is what I hear as I turn in. They go, well, you know, Joe Biden, he just got his butt kicked today. And you know what he's going to go do? He's going to go home, get in his slippers, and sip on some hot cocoa. And I'm like, what is happening right now?
You know what's
Okay.
happening.
So if you're not aware, Trump and Biden had a debate, if you want to call it that.
First of 3 planned, right?
First of 3. The format was 2 minutes for Trump, 2 minutes for Biden, and Trump must have dominated 80% of the show. I mean, at one point, the moderator's like, you have to stop talking. I'm literally the moderator. I'm going to ask you a question, but you're literally, you continue to talk. I can't ask you the question. And Trump just would not shut up. Now, here's what I did
He's
do.
on them drugs.
So there's a local conservative guy here, and we'll break down some stuff said, but there's a local conservative guy called Phil Valentine. I was like, well, let me hear let me hear what he was going to say. I turned in, he goes, that was terrible. He goes, that was terrible for Trump. He goes, someone needs to tell him, if you do that again, you're going to lose the election 100%.
Well, let's hope he does it again.
I hope he does.
Because everything Phil Valentine says is true.
As much as I was more conservative, now more liberal, but I think he's all right. I mean, there's just points where he's a little bit, yeah, he's all right. I mean, he's not like he's not a far right dude. Like
he's an episode away from InfoSec.
At least he's not. Well, I mean, at least he's not like those other people. Everything I tried to watch after the debate to try and get some kind of analysis was, I mean, it was extremely biased on
Right.
whichever channel.
Right.
MSNBC and CNN were very, very leftist.
Of course.
And then Fox News and that other channel.
One network.
Maybe that was it.
There's
The War Room, whatever that's on.
You tell me.
And it's they were just
Fox News South.
might as well be.
Might as well be.
But it was just like, this is a joke.
It was really bad, and here's what I got to say first off before we get into what was said. I just want to really honestly know that people saw this as, I mean, I know we know who Trump is. Like, we know. We've talked about it continually over and over on the program. We've lost a number of listeners. I've looked at the stats. We talked about this last week. We obviously have pissed off every person that would listen that like Trump does not listen anymore. I mean, we know from John that people have said, you guys are out of line right now. Like, do they not see this guy for what he is? Like, no. Like,
I mean, if you haven't, if this is, if you've waited to this moment to change your mind, I question your sanity anyway, because at least the people who are dying on that hill, you can be like, well, you know, they've gone this far. They're going to see it to the end. But the people who at this point are going, this debate changed my mind, I'd really have to wonder.
There's still undecided voters from what they say.
There's not any. That's stupid.
It's crazy.
All that crap that you hear on CNN and Fox and read on the internet, all of it's phony. All these polling stuff, we've learned all of that's fake. And pretty much of the votes that you cast are probably fake too. But what I thought was crazy,
Trump over there.
What I thought was crazy was Amazon had to stop the sale of anything that had the words stand by or stand down, stand by.
All right, so let's talk about that. Now, John, if I look at you right now and I go, John, I need you to condone white nationalists, what would you say? I mean, what was the simple thing you would say, John?
There's so many. There's so many of them.
What would you say? Like, I'm saying, I want you right now on this platform to condone. I just need you to condone, not condone. I need you to condemn, not don't condone them. I need you.
It's like,
You made that a lot easier.
I was trying to trap John there.
he was sweating for a second.
I was like, I don't know what to say.
John, I need you to condone the Nazi Party right now.
I need a week or two to study.
I lose it wrong. I got last week's in my head. I need you to condemn them right now. What would you?
I think you guys are idiots. You suck. I'd probably go on a rant.
But what's the simple thing to say?
You would condemn them.
Just condemn them right now.
I'm like, to base anything on just the color of your skin is utterly ridiculous, and that, I mean, it has no bearing on human life as it is.
Okay, good. So that was it. I mean, so this guy.
But my votes.
He said my favorite song. Okay.
I mean, he kind of does he said that I can do that. Or something like that.
Well, I can do anything.
He said sure. He said sure, but I see more hate from the left.
Sure.
He said
I see more hate from the left.
Name a specific group.
And so Biden said,
Proud Boys.
I didn't know who the hell I've never heard the damn Proud Boys.
I didn't either until that moment.
Well, now everyone's heard of these dudes, and it's unfortunate. But anyways, he said name a group. Now, bro, you just could have said white nationalists, and that would encompass
the
all
electric
of them.
boogaloo.
Why are you asking for a specific white nationalist? So sure is not a hard stance on
I don't know
condemning
his exact
something.
quote. But
I mean, as I tweeted out,
I think Trump was hoping he'd name a group that weren't actively protesting or
or
in
had
the
a
middle
lot
of
of voters in it.
Well, no. Well, yeah.
had a lot of
that too.
voters, yeah.
Because the question was prefaced by people going out and protesting.
Right.
And Trump wanted to push the fact that there's way more leftists out there that are protesting than people who are.
And we could get into that, but yes. So he said.
Anyway,
so
Biden said Proud Boys.
So we're sitting here saying sure is a hard stance.
It doesn't matter when given the group to condemn, which they eventually arrived at. Proud Boys.
Proud Boys,
which is a very conservative group that believes in paramilitarizing themselves, wearing combat weapons, and are online saying, you know, if Donald Trump loses, we're going to go to war. Actually, either way, it doesn't matter who wins, we're going to war. And Donald Trump said, stand down and stand by.
So this is according to the Anti-Defamation League, has labeled the Proud Boys, their ideology is misogynistic, they don't allow women to join, Islamophobic, transphobic, and anti-immigration. Okay, so let's not even call them white nationalists. Let's just say those are their traits of their group. That's bad, okay? Yes, he said, stand down and stand by. Now, I don't even know what to say about
Is that
this.
like a panic response? Like, oh, man, I wasn't trying to get this deep. They're naming people. I didn't think they would name people. Stand down, but stand by.
What does that mean to you guys? Stand down and stand by is a term.
I think he knows exactly what he's doing.
I believe
he's
he does
inciting
too.
violence. He's telling them, like, this is your moment soon.
And then he was asked at the end, will you tell your voters to peacefully handle the election results? And he would not do it. He literally was telling his followers, if I do not win the election, and this is read between the lines, but you can go back and read his quotes all you want. He's calling for violence if he does not win the election. That is straight up true.
Okay, this is without a doubt. Okay, Trump, we've talked about him endlessly. There are some people that really think that Biden is a worse solution than Trump after seeing they actually believe that actually Trump has created a better America and that Biden is actually the worst choice.
Okay.
So how was Biden's performance? Did Biden say anything outlandish? Because if it is a dumpster fire, then everyone inside it's just melted at that point.
So points out, he did tell Trump to shut up, which I crackled at.
So everyone liked that. Everyone enjoyed that.
He called him a clown.
He called him a clown, which we've done over and over again. And he also, he had a bunch of funny quotes. I think he tried to connect. What can you do? I mean, when you have a dance partner that doesn't even want to dance the right music, there's not a lot you can do. I mean, he just kept looking at the people going, is this what you guys want? Is this what America wants? You're right. Maybe they do. And maybe that's
I don't think people have any reason left in their head. They're not voting for Trump. Like, Trump made the quote about the insulin being so cheap. And it's like, that's not true, is it?
Of course not. It's
but
not
those
true.
people that are on insulin and paying out the wazoo for it are still going to vote for him.
He gives out hope to people. He gives out like this fabricated hope that's never going to. He says this in his book, The Art of the Deal, is that you over-deliver, you oversell, and under-deliver, and they'll still love you. And that is his whole thing. You're right. If I'm a family, I'm like, I got a son who's diabetic. We need the insulin. I can't afford it. Yeah, I'm going to be like, well, hell, Biden didn't say anything about that. I mean, you got to look at,
No, the point is they're never going to vote for Biden because he's blue.
Yeah.
They were never, you could bring out Jesus. If Jesus ran as a Democrat, these people would not vote for Jesus.
Of course they wouldn't.
And they go to church every Sunday. They go to a Christian church every Sunday. That's like a line in the stand that's becoming in this country that people are completely unwilling to work with the other side on, to the fact that we have the Antifa, and I know it's not an organization, it's an ideal. We have the Proud Boys, which is not really an organization either. It's more of an ideal. And they just want to get in the streets and kill each other.
Yeah.
That is the ultimate final solution for these people. So you tell me, is talking about a dumpster fire, this is going to be bigger than a dumpster fire.
I fear, and I've talked about this before, I fear election day, election week, it's not going to be good.
I mean, with the mail-in ballots, there'll probably be an election month.
Well, that's what, I mean, Biden said, he said it's going to take time. And Trump has just continually said, I will not.
Why?
He's literally said, I will not accept.
Why are we in 2020 and we have the capability to use, Bitcoin? What is it? The two-factor auth, the hash keys. What is it? The whatever, the technology. We can view video from Japan in real time.
Because
but
Lee,
for some reason, we cannot get voting down
you know
to
why?
science.
Because it's all a bunch of old dudes who don't trust technology, and they're not going to move forward. We need these people to go away for us to make.
It's just, blockchain. That's what it is. Sorry, blockchain.
So Brandon's saying, like, yo, why are you going to vote for either of these two morons? Well, here's the system we work in. A third-party person has 0% chance of winning. Zero. In this current way it works, they're never going to win. Do I like Joe Biden? No. I thought if Trump shut his mouth, he had a really great line that I thought, if he had just shut up and bail back. When he said to Biden, I've done more in 47 months than you've done in 47 years, I was like, that's a good line. Like, that undecided voter might go, that's good. I like that because, it's kind of true. These are crony politicians that.
Well, there were times that Chris Matthews, he was the moderator, Chris Wallace.
Yeah, Chris Wallace.
Threw each of them low ball pitches.
Yeah.
And they could have really taken that ball and ran with it.
Right.
But neither of them capitalized on them. and it's just like if you just kind of slow down, shut up, and you they had great things. One of the things he asked Biden, he said, "Why haven't you contacted any of these governors?" And Biden was like, "Because I'm not in office." Like, if you're the face of the,
Here's the thing. Here's the
Yes.
thing that they're all. See, they've been planning this strategy for years, right? This is not something they just woke up and walked into. Biden and Trump and Biden both understand. There's people on both sides of the party that are going to vote party line. They don't have to. They don't have to pander. They don't have to campaign to these people. So what Biden is trying to do is win over Trump voters that are disenfranchised with Trump. So in order to do that, he has to say outlandish things. He has to hurl insults.
Right.
Because that's what his base likes. If you're not going to go up to Trump and hurl insults and yell at each other for an hour, you're probably not going to win any of those votes. Is it right? No. And we're not even going to talk about the tax returns that got released, are we?
The man has not paid taxes. And he was asked directly
for 2016 and 17.
he was
how
asked
much
by
did you pay?
the moderator, did you pay taxes? He never answered. He said, well, I've paid taxes.
Well, politicians have been great at dodging questions
my thing
since
is,
the dawn of man.
if
He
it-
wasn't great at it. He just kept asking him the question over again.
I mean, and people attack the moderator. What do you want the guy to do? He can't go over there and knock him out or
Well,
anything.
now they're talking about, we're going to put in the ability to mute the mics. I'm like, put in the ability to mute the mics.
Why hasn't this been done?
What? Yeah. How would you even?
Well,
like, who is the that team gets fired? Like, bring them down here to this basement. I'll do a better job.
So Brandon made some points. Okay, say why would you pay more taxes than you legally have to? Well, here's the thing. I don't think anyone has a problem with him saying if he would just be honest and go, I use the tax loophole. That's not what he has
first
said.
off,
He has attacked people constantly for not paying taxes. That's been one of his big things. His thing is, I've paid more than anyone in
He
taxes.
did it big time with Hillary.
Yes, he attacked her. So he lies, man. And other Brandon's point, this election to me, and when I look at where we're at now, is too important not to get out and vote Trump out. That's how I look at it.
That's how I look at it too. And people don't understand. Like, people really think that Trump is good for America.
He's bad.
There's undecided voters who think that Trump is good for America. There's people who think the handling of the pandemic was great. There's people who think the economy the economy has been good, I guess, right? Like, but
Considering the pandemic it has.
so, I guess there's positives to him, but just the representation of America, the values that you would expect. And obviously every president before him has lied and has gone to war and killed people, right? Like,
Of course.
we get it, but what people don't understand is just the long-term damage that Trump has done on a global scale to set not just America, humanity back.
So Brandon said, well, Joe Biden's not going to do any better. Yes. Here's the thing. If Trump does 9.5 points of damage, maybe Biden only does 9 points of damage, and that's still
Better.
It's better. Okay. It may be, I think, whatever you think of Obama, you liked him, you didn't like him. America today versus where it was when he was in office, we're in a different culture right now. This is a different world we
absolutely.
live in. This is a man that is called out continuously to right wingers, to white nationalists. I know people
To
go,
have violence.
but he has condemned it. Yes, he's like, he gives I condemn it, but he's like my kids. I'll do this, but
I'll condemn it when I'm in public, but when I'm talking to these groups, I'll
Right.
demand it.
You can't say I do something but this. That means that basically eliminates your first part of your statement. It's stupid. I don't know, man. I just who is burning cities? Brandon. A large portion of black culture is because they've been run into the ground years and years and years. And dude,
Just during the Trump's administration, when there should have been a response from the White House to handle this, there was none. So, of course, people are going to get frustrated.
On the other hand, what response did Obama give to Baltimore, to St. Louis, and to
he said,
Florida?
at least
Were
he said-
people rioting in the streets?
They were.
Are they? Were they like a continuation of it? It's still going on to this day. I don't.
No, he's.
No.
These riots are for different aspects. The newest thing now is Breonna Taylor.
One of the first things he did was the beer summit, where he brought the two parties together and at least had a conversation. As Trump had a conversation with any of the members of the Black Lives Matter.
He literally attacks the politicians in these cities. He has literally said, if it's a blue state, I'm going to withhold medical supplies from. What president, like you're saying it's a hypocrisy, and you're saying that Biden would be damage for this country, but I guarantee you Biden would never say that if you're a Republican, you deserve to die in the streets. And that is truly what Trump believes. He truly believes that. And if he doesn't, then that's what he wants people to believe, which is probably even worse. I don't know.
He has said those things straight up. Trump said, if you're one of the blue states, you will not be getting federal aid. He said it. Look it up.
I mean, look what he did to Puerto Rico. He basically was like, good luck, Puerto Rico.
You're not getting any of our money.
You don't have a country anymore because of
he said we're out of control.
Natural disaster?
Prove it. Just look it up. You can literally just Google any of these things we're saying.
It's fine. We know where he stands.
All right. Anyway, I just feel this dread about these. There's going to be shenanigans 100%. 100%.
There's shenanigans last time.
And Trump, last message pretty much said, I'm not leaving. I mean, he's pretty much telling you he's not leaving office, okay?
I've seen ads where he had like 2028, 2032, like in the background, like continuation of president. He's literally on record saying, I think they should give me 2 more terms after this next one.
Of course. And he's running down the Muslim congresswoman. He gets his fans irate. These
Anyway,
are just,
I don't know.
These are pissed off white people that just want to be pissed off, and he's encouraging that. That's what I got to say.
Ultimately, he is encouraging violence.
All right. Do we have time? Do we have time for Dear John or not, man?
Yeah, sure.
All
it's a
right.
special one.
Here
It's
we go.
themed.
All right, here we go.
Dear John, dear John, by the time you read these lines, I'll be gone.
All right. Read the thing. Somebody wrote in. John's going to answer. Go.
Dear John, my husband and I have been married for 10 years, and the man I married doesn't seem to be anywhere in sight. Last year, he started buying guns, ammo, and tactical gear and starting to call himself a proud boy. The spending won't stop, and every time I bring up the topic, he tells me that this is for our protection and that war is coming and we need to be prepared. I really don't understand this behavior, but it has increasingly become worse and worse. What can I do to make my husband understand that he needs to focus on our family and not play cowboy from Mamma Mia?
I would. I mean, you've already tried condemning his actions. I would bring up other needs that need to be focused on, and distract him, and go that route.
Distract him? What's
outside
that?
of ending your marriage. I mean, I'm sure you still love him.
End it.
But there's other things that are more pressing. Your groceries for the week. You know, there's other things that have to be taken care of aside from buying ammo. So I would use those other things that are more pressing in life to distract him and have him take a hold of that. Obviously, this guy has ego issues to go along with what he's going on with. So, stroke that ego. Let him tell him we need you. You're the man of the house. Help us out with this. Help us out with that, and keep him busy until.
John, what
Till
in
this
the
blows
holy
over.
hell are you talking
Maintenance
about?
upkeep on the house.
Divorce this son of a bitch now.
Break the handle on the door.
If he is a member of the Proud Boys, he hates women, he hates America, he disguises it as this nationalism that's fake, and they don't understand what this country was founded on. They understand the country was founded on immigrants showing up. Did they forget the history lesson? Go to New York, go to Ellis Island.
I mean,
you
like the
freaking
Tea
morons,
Party or
dude.
whatever.
You're so stupid. I'm sick of it.
Guns.
I'm sick of these people. Divorce this dude. He's terrible. He doesn't respect you as a woman 100%. They have this thing about, we're going to elevate the housewife because they only want their women being housewives. Is that the world we live in? Really? Is that the world?
It's not the world we live in, but
No, it's the
some
world they
people
live in.
want that for sure.
It's so terrible. All right. So what are you saying? Distract them. What does that mean? Distract them. I don't understand
Break
what
the
that means.
door handle. Get them to
Are you
fix
saying
it.
sex? Is that what? Is this code for what?
No, I
Oh,
never
okay.
mentioned
Go
sex.
rip the
I
some
was
tiles off
asking.
the roof.
I mean, you could have sex, but that's not going to keep him from buying guns and ammo.
I mean,
I
so
mean-
have you ever had a problem with spending that your wife was like, hey, you can't be spending all this money on this, or vice versa?
Not really, but we've never really had that much money where we can have that issue.
But it's all
You gotta have the money
But it's
there
all
in the first
relative,
place.
right? It's not how much you make; it's how much you spend,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, hell, I love to buy guitars, man, but at some point I knew that shit had to stop, you know? Like, I had, like, a lot of guitars at one point, and I could, you know, if it became a problem, I would have stopped. I'm not this guy. These guys, if this is, you know, whoever wrote this in, kudos to you.
Okay.
But, I mean...
So John is distraction. That's John's advice. Use
leave
divorce.
him. Leave his ass.
Okay.
If you're married to this dude, there's no telling what's going on in that house. And if you have kids together, he's going to raise them with these ideal. Oh, my son, I know it's going long. My son now, because of my in-laws, is starting to ask, like, why is Trump so bad? What's so bad about him? I'm just like, I don't know what to do, man. I'm like, look, son, I was like, I've told you everything I think, and they've told you what they think, and you have to make your own decision about it.
You got to divorce your step-parents. That's all.
But I'm like, look, man, I mean, the guy's bad. But anyway, that's
well, there you go. Same situation here.
So, all right. So, distract them.
Distract them. Thanks,
right,
John.
There you go. All right, there we go. So hopefully it was more comprehensible than the elections. Hopefully you understood more. Anyway, that has been the show, and not just, I mean, the whole episode. It was more fun than the debate. But yes, that's it. We've come up to the end of the show. So, you know, you need to go support us. We've got new merchandise. We got hats available now. So if you want to go to bybpod.com, you can buy hats, face masks, if you believe in them, leggings, T-shirts, hoodies, because hoodie season is here, and I love it. I'm so eager to be part of it. You know, all of our social media links are there, ways to grab the podcast. You can watch episodes on YouTube if you like doing that. And you can email us on the website. You can put any name you want, Proudboy101, whatever. We won't know who it is. It's all anonymous. Even if you're, you know, emailing just from New Jersey or something, you could just put a name and whatever the case would be. And all of our past episodes are there and articles from our friend Adam Cox, who writes for the website. So it's all there at bybpod.com. If you're not voting, go vote. Please get out and vote. I mean, I would hope it would be for Biden, but if not, that's okay. Whatever. Just go vote. It's your right. Don't listen to Trump. And with all that being said,
don't blame yourself when you can blame your brother.
I'm Donald Trump, and I